Hello, I'm Brianna Escobar in the accounting class ACG 4632. In this video, I'll be using analytical skills to highlight potential breakdowns and internal controls in a sample of audits of accounts receivable. Let's get started. As you can see, I have data source that lists a variety of accounts receivables. It lists invoice number, invoice date, customer number, and is authorized by a clerk, accounts receivable clerk, and a cash receipts clerk. By expressing this data into different formats, this can show how accounting firms can have high risks in their internal controls. I created a sheet named segregation by duties to show how each invoice is handled by each clerk. As you can see, in this invoice 566316, this invoice is handled twice by the general ledger accounting clerk. This poses a serious threat because this limits one more person from reviewing and catching error of these invoices. In the sheet, I also included a sum invoice total key to show you the colors of how each invoice is summed. The color red shows how great the invoice is, while the color yellow shows how least the invoice is. By looking at the red invoice, this shows the type of materiality that each clerk, the accounting firm, risks. $6,000 could be material for a small company or immaterial for a big company. Let's continue on. I created an invoices over time sheet to show how much customers spent throughout the year for this firm. By looking at this graph, it is noticeable to see that in the earlier of the year of 2018, February, customers spent little. As it continues on throughout the year, it increases. I decided to use the time segment of months because I believe that is the most important for the auditor to visualize the fluctuations throughout the year by each customer. Now let's go to the invoices by customer sheet. I created this sheet to show the customer size of the firm. Here it is noticeable to see customer number 100140 paid the most of $74,000 throughout the year. By looking at the rest of this graph of circles, this shows the size of the circle shows the amount each customer paid for their purchase. I again used a color code to show red being the greatest amount of money spent and yellow being the least amount of money spent. Lastly, I created a dashboard sheet to show how each sheet I created throughout the project is interactive. As you can see, we have my segregation by duty sheet, invoices by customer sheet, and invoices over time. If you click on one value in the segregation by duty sheet, it'll show you the customer number that purchased it and the invoice total. It'll also show you when the customer purchased it, which is September 2018. And it will also show you the accounting clerks that authorized the invoice, recorded the invoice, and reviewed the invoice. Overall, this project was created to show how easily data can be manipulated into visual representations in Tableau. With these type of insights found in the data sources, firms can modify and adjust their data and staff in order to correct their mistakes and enforce efficient use of internal controls throughout the firm. Thank you.